Well, there's how we start the morning here. Well, cheers, everybody. Ty opened that when she kicked that cow and calf out yesterday. She says, I'm going to leave that. So if one gets underneath the gate again, at least got someplace inside and dry where they can come. Buffalo's going for some breakfast, maybe. And Mom, you got to hold still for a second, Mom. You can't be licking and moving around. I'm trying to get to a teat. Mom? Really, Mom? But, Mom, I'm hungry, and it's time for milk. Poor bugger. Anyway, first thing yesterday morning, I tossed a bale in there, and Ty threw it in where all those calves are. That's why that looks a little fresher. And she put extra right down there at the corner. Right in there where you can't see. Because that's where they slip under. Yet, somebody still chose to slip under. I told him I'm leaving him there until I kick the cows out of the feed barn, because I don't really feel like walking through the shit. And then hosing my shoes off and then walking the plank, and yeah. That's just not what I want to do today. And Becky was sure that one of these 2-year-olds, I think there are only 2 of them left in here to go. She was sure last night watching the camera, oh, that one's going to calve tonight. It's going to, yeah, there ain't no new calves out there. And then where we got the cameras set up there, where the monitors are, they're very picky as to how the antennas are. And Becky was sitting at that end of the couch, had her phone plugged in. She was, you're going to hit that hot wire, kid. There's a hot wire on the face of that 2x6 to keep the cows from knocking through it. Dang, I don't know how he kept from getting zapped. Anyway, she took the charger cord for her phone and hung it up over the antenna, which moved the position of the antenna. And she's wanting me to keep an eye on that 2-year-old who was pretty much laying right here, about like that, I guess, with her butt that way, which camera looked right at her butt perfectly. Camera says the monitor says out of range. It's out of range because there's a charger cord hanging on the antenna, and the antenna's in a different position than where it will pick up the signal. That camera still has the short antenna on it too, by the way. And where it is, it's got to get out of the barn to get anywhere. So anyway, after I realized why the camera was not getting to the monitor, it's like, yeah, fix that. Oh, okay, now I can see. Nothing going on. And I'm going to see if I can piss the cows all off, because I'm going to start feeding through the end and give them a chance to come in, because she's the only one in. And I hear sirens. I better hide. Hopefully they're not looking for me. Sounds like either an ambulance or a cop. Probably a cop, but I don't know. Oh, speaking of that, I didn't mention it, but the other night, I go to bed, and there's a really, really bright light I could see. I mean, really bright. And it's going to come past here, maybe. From the window, kind of over the Tahoe up there. The light was just below that light. It's like, okay, what's going on down at the neighbors? Apparently a car was headed this direction. Didn't make the corner, ran into the bank. And when we went down to check, the car was actually quite a ways this side of the corner with a cop car behind it. They got some really bright, clear overheads. Ambulance. Well, I had a 50-50 chance because both their sirens sound the same. It's interesting because I never heard the engine go out. but I do hear it over that way now. Now that's pretty good. You got a paid crew that are 1 mile from where I'm standing, and you got an ambulance that came out of Hillsboro. No matter what, that ambulance was a minimum 12 miles away. Interesting. Oh well. Okay, I was asked how we ended up with a cotton picker in Oregon. This machine, obviously not set up to be a cotton picker anymore, I believe actually came out of California originally. Probably actually was a cotton picker down there. And Steven Seagal owns, or did own, a big farm in Southern Oregon. And they were raising some specialty flowers. So this was built to harvest flower seeds. I have no idea what they had on the front of it. I mean, I'm just guessing toolbar mounted because I know that's not original. So no idea what they had for there. Obviously they were still using the fan in it at some point somehow, and it would blow the flower seeds up into that box. It's got a belt floor in it, hydraulic drive, has a screen top in it, and has a hydraulic door on the back. So that's what I know. And a lavender farm over near Damascus, Oregon, they ended up apparently purchasing the farm that Steven Seagal owned. So they ended up with this, and they shipped it up to their Damascus location, which was the main headquarters, and had absolutely no use for it. So it was on Craigslist. Yeah, at the time we were wanting to build a new sprayer and thought, hey, you know, we can convert it, put front booms on, because they'd mount on here, and this raises and lowers. Those are skinny tires. Those are skinny tires. So there's the skinny tires for doing dry field work. And we had a set of 66s, floaters, same height as these are. And there happens to be, oh, they're on the other side of that pile of crap there, a set of diamond tread tires that are wide enough to be floating, that would bolt right on back here in the same height. So, you know, we thought we had it covered. And we had to buy the cable to run it before we could bring it home, because the cable for the hydrostat right here was toast. We went to look at it, and I kind of hung underneath the bar that my head's against and ran the control to make sure it was going to move. And if I remember right, that side, the brake is messed up. So, you know, I wasn't going to hang underneath it to drive it up on a trailer. That wasn't going to happen. If anybody wants to know, though, 9940, serial number 000248N. So it's an earlier one. The engine is supposed to be a 466, rated at 207 horse. One injector line has a leaky. I don't remember which one it is, but that's why there's a rag there. It didn't leak when we went over and looked at it. Thing runs like a top. When we went over to load it up, bring it home, we had a leaky. Just a little. I mean, it's got a pinhole. But you know how pinholes are. So anyway, that's what I know. And we're going to get rid of a bunch of shit off here today, I hope. Finish filling a box. Oh, and look, the bucket brigade, literally. We don't know how much fuel is in the thing.
I literally don't know.
Hopefully she's got clean buckets for the fuel, because we're going to use the fuel. We may even try to get that tank out of there without emptying it. We'll see. She's worried about that.
Oh, Snowball's chancing.
But there's 2 little hydraulic tanks right there. One of them may already be empty because the hydrostat leaks. No idea. So that's what we're going to get started on. Attempting to get some bulkhead things off. The little spare buckets, tools, and the other buckets, parts and pieces. And there's 2 buckets of diesel over there. Another bucket filling. We've already dumped 3 full buckets in the shop tank out of this thing. Fuel's clean, so what the hell. I thought I'd show you the view from here now that all that's out of the way. That's the 3rd or 4th bucket full we're working on. Oh yeah, and all the tins off that side. I haven't got to the other side yet.
Beat that, you little motherfucker.
But I thought while I was up here, I'd show off this fancy box. If I can get up here. Of course, there's nothing to get a hold of up here. Absolutely nothing, by the way. Oh. Some nice punch plate. Hopefully it'll come out of there without too much trouble. I'd like to keep the punch plate. And I don't know if you can see in there, there's fern growing right there. A whole bunch of moss. Because there's a deflector or something over the top of these. So stuff went back instead of up into the screen. And there's the deal on the back. Hydraulic cylinder to open the back end. My plan is for like when we got to clean the calf barn, because this thing's trailer mounted behind a tractor. Fill it up over there, come over here to the feed barn and turn her on and let the belt take it out. I just hope the belt still moves, isn't stuck and isn't screwed up. If so, well, then we got something for another project, I guess. And she's still having fun. And I had fun getting those pieces off the front. They got a pillow block mount. And then the center was just set in between the brackets down there. Had to stop so it couldn't slide out of those brackets. And I thought, okay, I'll just take the loader and wiggle them and knock them out. No, that didn't happen.
And in case anyone's wondering why I'm wearing rain gear, I was underneath this damn thing and it leaks a lot.
Oh yeah, she's wearing rain gear.
I probably have it all over my ass because I had to sit in the middle of it.
But anyway, then I realized, I told you I was going to save the piece of tubing that was in the end of that. Now, took the torch and cut that tube between the 2 halves. That's when the whole thing came down. Had a pry bar hanging on it. One of the arms caught my left shin and the pry bar nailed me in the right ankle. So I'm just feeling the love today. Oh, and hey, we've talked hail lately. A couple people have mentioned how they hate hail. See the roof on top of that trailer? That's a nice trailer. That was a finished product sitting on the lot at the factory when they had a hailstorm come through with like golf ball to softball sized hail. So the whole roof is, from one end to the other, is dings. If you're inside looking up, it looks like condensation hanging down all over. You know, insurance paid them, so they still sold the trailer to the dealers at 20% off. And our local dealer is over the hill down there. That should have been like a $16,000 or $18,000 trailer at the time, and we paid $12,000 for it. It's been well worth it. Really has. So there's my hail story. And my rain story is, it's going to rain again. We went all morning and didn't get a drop. Come back out after lunch. It's 52 degrees, sun shining. I left my coat in the house. I went to the shop to grab some tools. I literally came right back by, grabbed my coat because it got cold quick. So anyway, that's our day. We still got to go feed and let the cows in the feed barn, but I think somebody's being stubborn over here. And I was hoping to get a lot farther on this, but hey, that hydraulic mess, that was all down below. That's all hanging up there out of the way. It's hanging on the box. It goes to the box. There's nothing from the box still attached to the rest of the machine, except for the 4 clamps that hold it onto the subframe.
Bitch, you thought you were gonna win. Guess what?
And she's still having fun. Anyway, that's probably enough of the video, I suppose.
Good hose too, actually.
Oh, she found a good hose. There's been a couple of good ones. And over there on the back of Squeak, some material keeping, and all the control cables, because they're all in good shape. One of them was brand new.
Bullshit.
And we actually went to the dealer to get that brand new one because didn't know where else to get one at the time. And believe it or not, we actually had it was in at Hillsboro in 2 days from wherever it came from. No extra charge, all that good shit. And I think that was $150. So there's 4 cables just like that one, different lengths, and the shutoff cable. And you can imagine how long the shutoff cable is, because well, the fuel pump is just about straight above that black bucket, and this end of that shutoff cable was about where that oval hole is on top of that side panel there. In fact, I think the oval hole may have been what it came through. I don't remember. But anyway, see, I was hoping to have this thing all done today, but that ain't gonna happen.
We ain't done yet.
She says we ain't done yet. Leaving the hood over the engine. If we can get the blower out from underneath here, we'll get it out of here. And fuel tank and oil tanks are back underneath that shrouding. If we can get that shrouding out of there, we will.
Well, the fuel tank would figure out if it wants to be empty.
And the fuel tank, we don't know how much was in it. The way it was in there, I don't know how the hell they even filled it. But
we're almost to half again on that bucket.
Yeah, the other bucket's going to be full here in a little bit. That's okay, because we need the fuel in the shop anyway, right? So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope your Tuesday was nice. And we're not really going to call that a sunset, but we're going to call that our blue sky that we're not going to get to see, because that rain's only about 1.5 miles away now. So, thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great hump day.